Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Leo July 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is as far as July goes, the sun will be in Cancer from the 1st until the 22nd. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. There could be a strong focus, concentration of energy, attention on hidden adversaries, trying to weed them out, perhaps matters with self-undoing, restrictions, limitations, seclusion and solitude, and also in helping those that are less fortunate than yourself. And given that we're talking about Cancerian energy, this could be done with a lot of Cancerian sensitivity, tenacity, emotion, feeling, perhaps even intuition, and even especially perhaps the hidden adversaries thing, and really safety and security as well. You really being safety and security can be really a means to perhaps protect yourself from those hidden enemies, so to speak. And I think I would see that as including intruders as well, with a lot of Cancerian protective energy as well, and a lot of nurturing energy, and perhaps especially as far as your private life, your solitude and seclusion. So anyway, and also it might shine the light on a Cancerian hidden adversary, or one that simply may embody Cancer-like characteristics, or it could be an actual sun, moon, or ascendant in Cancer. Anyway, next thing up as far as July goes, the sun will be in Leo from the 22nd to the 31st, July 22nd to July 31st. So as far as July goes, anyway, and the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on the self, outlook on life, the appearance, new beginnings, perhaps people that were prominent in your early childhood, and even the physical body, especially if this is actually the literal first house in one's natal chart. And these things could be dealt with a lot of Leo-like ferocity, magnanimous, generous energy, a lot of pride and dignity, and done with a lot of confidence and self-assuredness, and even extravagance as well, and especially in matters perhaps connected with one's appearance as well. And as Leo, of course, can be very extravagant anyway, and this could even increase Leo's vitality and energy level at this time. Leo's energy could really nearly be indefatigable or inexorable, but it could even be be at an even higher level at this point in time. Anyway, next thing up is there will be a partial solar eclipse in Cancer on July 12th, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time for Leo, there could be it could be a new period, perhaps of showing a lot of tenacious energy, a lot of tenacity, and a lot of sensitivity and sympathy toward those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless. And this might actually lead to something very life-altering, getting in touch with somebody, the right contact, for example, can lead to perhaps a very strong new beginning, or I should say, really something very like a new start for Leo. I mean, you're talking about a partial solar eclipse. It's basically, I mean, it's like a new moon, but inflated and enlarged and more magnified, and in terms of its impact. So another example could be rekindling perhaps a connection with the Cancer sun, moon, ascendant, aunt, or uncle, which could lead to maybe a very strong new beginning for you, or could have very life-altering effects one way or another. Another thing could be, this could be doing a start of something they're very Cancerian, perhaps in solitude and seclusion. I mean, it could be something connected with cooking, or doing something just in general with a lot of, I guess you could say, like tenacity. Something which you're doing by yourself. I mean, Cancer can even be associated with laundry, things that are associated with food, something where you're doing maybe some kind of healing profession for somebody, and doing this perhaps in the privacy. And also to a new period of working on your limitations and restrictions with a lot of tenacity and nurturing them. You may also, this could be a time too where it could be, unfortunately, a new Cancerian hidden adversary can take place, which could really, of course, have a very monumental impact on the rest of your life, especially if it's something that could be very, it could mean, because when a new hidden adversary may come about, it could be a very problematic period, unfortunately. But this can only be, I mean, this is I would say in isolated cases. So anyway, the next thing up is there will be a full moon in Aquarius on July 27th, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Actually, be a lunar eclipse, a full moon in Aquarius at this time, so this will be really like a magnified full moon at this, and it could have life-altering effects, and the effects and impact it could have might be for a more protracted period as opposed to a regular full moon. Now, anyway, this could be a time where you may become somewhat tired, exasperated, full, so to speak, perhaps of idiosyncratic, bizarre, unusual behavior from someone in a partnership situation, a relationship, even a grandmother. Remember that the 7th house represents the less dominant parent's mother, so it could be a grandmother's situation that you might become tired or exasperated with, overly eccentric or unpredictable behavior. This could also be, the way this can manifest perhaps is the completion or culmination of an Aquarius-like project that you may have collaborated with someone else on. It could have been with a significant other or someone you're in a business partnership with. It could be something innovative or inventive, maybe something associated with computers, electronics, something with the esoteric, such as astrology. Could be aerospace, astronomy. And really, it could also manifest perhaps in injecting a lot of this full, selfless, and humanitarian energy in helping others at this time. And also, too, this could be about maybe an unpredictable court situation, or in a court situation that you may have been embroiled in, may come to an end very spontaneously, unpredictably. And in some isolated cases, it could also manifest perhaps in the revelation or unveiling of an Aquarius open adversary or legal opponent. Could be Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. Next thing up, Mercury will be in Leo, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. It will be retrograde from the 26th to the 31st. So at this time for Leo, it could be about dominating conversations, perhaps with someone that was prominent in your early childhood. It could be about boasting about your own positive attributes and qualities. Leo may often do that anyway, but it might be more emphasized and accentuated at this point than usual. And also a lot of thinking with a lot of confidence and self-assuredness regarding new beginnings. And remember, too, that Mercury is not just about communication. One of the other things that could be associated with our siblings. Some cases, this could be about Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant siblings, or ones that embody Leo-like characteristics, might figure prominently more in the outlook on life, the appearance, and perhaps maybe new beginnings you may want to initiate at this time. Given that it's going to be retrograde for the latter part of the month, this could be about also revealing, maybe about just being about extroversion and gregariousness in general. And are you really that extroverted now, going perhaps with, say, people that were prominent in your early childhood? Do you need to inject more of this in your personality, perhaps in general, more so than usual? These could be some things that you can be looking at this time. So anyway, next thing up is Venus will be in Leo as far as July goes, from the 1st to the 9th. So the first house, again, is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time for Leo. This could be about loving the self very strongly with a lot of Leo-like ferocity and generosity, and also the desire to appear more attractive than usual and more peaceful than usual, and on a first impression as well, and charming perhaps as well. Also, too, this could be if Leo is unattached, you may encounter, maybe connect with a Leo sun, moon, or ascendant, or one that simply embodies Leo-like characteristics and might figure prominently in new beginnings or play a role, or might be somebody that you knew from your early childhood, perhaps, and might really be, and might play a strong role, too, in your outlook on life as well. And, also, too, given that we're talking about Venus, it's about money as well. This could be about spending extravagantly on oneself, maybe getting flamboyant attire, so to speak, and also valuing extroversion and gregariousness and expressing this perhaps very outwardly and even and really anyway. Next thing up is Venus will be in Virgo as far as July goes, from the 9th until the 31st. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Leo. So at this time, this could be about perhaps in some cases, if Leo is unattached, it could be where Leo might connect with a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Virgo-like characteristics that could figure prominently in generating income. It could also be about spending frugally, in a very frugal manner, perhaps on possessions and resources as well. This could be the enjoyment and love of analyzing one's finances and monetary matters, perhaps maybe even trying to extrapolate data connected with making money and maybe projecting, making financial projections. This could be the way this can manifest as well. This could be a lot about really enjoyment and valuing perhaps Virgo-like things such as nutrition, health, analysis, at this time, and doing an enjoyment of being healthy, and really could play a role in self-esteem and self-worth and how you might feel about yourself at this time. And also being just more organized could even make you feel a little better about yourself, being neater. And if you're a person that's somewhat disheveled, as far as your home goes, for example, this could be a time where you might put more value in organization, and it might make you feel better about how you feel about yourself. Next thing up, Mars will be in Aquarius, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted, will be retrograde. This could be the way this can manifest for Leo. This could be where you may have more acrimonious and contentious situations, perhaps with a business. It could be a business partner, a grandmother, even in some cases. It could be a significant other, others in general. You might get really angry perhaps at some kind of idiosyncratic, bizarre, or unusual behavior from the people that one or more of the people that I just mentioned. And also, given that this is going to be retrograde, this could be about going back to an Aquarius-like project perhaps you were collaborating with others on. It could have been something connected with computers, electronics, astrology, astronomy, aerospace perhaps, and and not necessarily just astrology, but any esoteric subject in general. This could be also about injecting a lot of selfless and humanitarian energy into others at this time, as opposed to oneself at this particular time. And also, too, it could be the way this can manifest could be about really unusual and very spontaneous arguments might take place in connection perhaps with open adversaries, and maybe even people that you are opposing in a legal manner, or a legal matter, I should say. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Jupiter will be in Scorpio still. Will be retrograde from the 1st until like the 10th. So the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. for Leo. This could be about luck and fortune through making a major transformation at home. It could be through some home renovation or remodeling, perhaps. This could also be about being lucky, going beyond subterfuge and superficiality with people you're at home with. It could be people prominent in your home and family life, perhaps. And given that it's going to be retrograde for about a third of the month, it's really could be the way that could manifest perhaps is reviewing a profound philosophy really about the end of life and maybe about who you are at the core as well. And also the way this could work out is a lot of exuberance put into the transformation perhaps of the home, renovation, remodeling, and also exuberance and enthusiasm perhaps in doing Scorpio-like things perhaps out of the home, such as locksmithing, the occult, supernatural, astrology, something or some kind of investigation, something that could be something Scorpio-like that may be done out of the home. So anyway, next thing up is Saturn will be in Capricorn still. Will be retrograde. The 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, this could be about dealing with some restrictions and limitations connected with health, service, employment, which might cause Leo to feel somewhat melancholy and despondent at this time. It may be about taking care of a debilitated or sickly aunt or uncle or someone prominent in your work life or daily routine. You might feel you're also limited in what maybe you can do in your daily routine as well. And given it's going to be retrograde, this could be about the review perhaps of serious responsibilities to one's health and to one's employment at this time. And also when you're talking about Saturn retrograde, this could be about not being necessarily cognizant of one's limitations and restrictions. So there's a chance of some overexertion and overdoing it in terms of matters with work and health. Working out too vigorously, overdoing it that way, or overdoing things and really working too. There could be such a thing, obviously, as working too laboriously and too hard. And like the song by Billy Joel, working too hard can give you a heart attack. Well, given that we're talking about Saturn in the 6th house, and also the fact we're talking about Leo, this horoscope is for Leo, and of course the heart is connected with Leo anatomically, and Leos can be known to have more sensitive to heart issues as opposed to the other signs of the zodiac. So you get the idea. So also it could be, the way this could work out again, going back to the health and really. And also there could be difficulties with one's health at this time, and it could be something Saturn, Capricorn related, such as the bones. It could be something with the skin, the knees, and the joints. So anyway, next thing up is Uranus will be in Taurus. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. It will be well, first thing off is there could be the career matters can be very it could be something very sporadic and sporadic and erratic in regards to one's career at this time. There might be a lot of fluctuations and changes going on. And also, too, it might be where the dominant parent or an authority figure might show an unusual, obstinate or stubborn nature at this time. Another way this can manifest perhaps is the formulation of new ways to make money to help improve one's stature in life. And really, too, and also, too, you might be influenced maybe in terms of the career right now, maybe doing something Uranus-like as far as the career goes, such as astrology, astronomy, aerospace, computers, electronics, even innovation at this time. And also, too, Taurus friendships or friendships that may embody Taurus-like characteristics could be Sun, Moon, Ascendant Taurus people, or ones that embody Taurus-like characteristics might strongly impact the public image, the reputation, and success. And a lot of this, of course, could be dependent, predicated on whether it's for good or bad, depending on the aspects that are made to natal points in your chart. So anyway, next thing up is Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 8th house is will be emphasized and highlighted for Leo. At this time, it could be that people you might be in an intimate relationship with, or sexual relationship with, might be somewhat nebulous and unclear. You might be more susceptible and vulnerable to credit card fraud at this time, especially if Neptune is making adverse aspects. I would think maybe especially to, like, say, Venus, which is if it makes an adverse aspect to Venus, that's about money, of course, and if it's to Mercury, that's about your judgment perhaps being somewhat impaired and not really thinking as clearly at this time, and you may be somewhat a little bit, more prone to be maybe deceived at this time than usual. And the thing about this is too, the way this could manifest. In some cases, this could be about imagined crisis at this time, and maybe making a bigger deal over things that might appear to be crisis related, and they're really not necessarily so. This could also be about the dissolving or dissipation of moral and emotional support at this time. Could have been in some cases a detox transformation at this time, trying to rid your body of adverse chemicals in it by doing what have you. Possibly in some cases, if you're somebody especially that is really strongly fixated or really infatuated with health, you might be dealing with confounding tax insurance situations at this time as well. So also too, in some cases, especially if it's like an older person, this could be the way this could manifest perhaps as the dissolving or dissipation of one's libido at this time as well. I have actually Saturn is in my 8th house right now, so I'm feeling definitely certain limitations and restrictions as far as that goes. So anyway, so it's obviously very similar. Next thing up is Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the 6 houses will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time for Leo, this could be the way this could manifest in some cases. I know a lot of you don't want me to say this, but the dreaded D word, but I'm going to do it anyway. It could be the literal death of an aunt, an uncle, sometimes a pet, somebody maybe prominent in your daily routine, your work life perhaps, maybe in your health life, such as somebody that you might go to a health and fitness club with, a workout partner or buddy. A lot of cases too, though, this could be the way this could work out. This could be about maybe the obliteration or destruction of some kind of employment, but remember that Pluto is about rebirth and regeneration, so if something's torn down with Pluto, it could often be supplanted and replaced. And anyway, also you might feel like maybe your health is being destroyed at this time, or there's some kind of transformation maybe connected with it. You might feel that maybe in some cases you might be going through some power issues with people maybe in your daily routine at this time. And also maybe people at your place of employment showing maybe power control issues or obsessive or compulsive issues at this time. You might be really more obsessed regarding your health this time than usual. So, and also in some isolated cases, this could be about maybe dealing, with a stalker in some cases. Pluto can be associated with that. At least I see Pluto as being the main planet associated with that. And a lot of this, depending on the aspects it's making, whether it really affects you strongly or not. If it's heading, say, if transit Pluto is at your 6 and it's making an adverse aspect to your moon, it could obviously do things to wreak havoc on your emotional security and affect you very adversely emotionally. If it's making an adverse aspect to your Mercury, well, this could wreak mental havoc on you and really make it difficult to really think and do things that you ordinarily would have no problem doing, such as mentally solving problems or what have you. Might cause a lot of mental distress. So those are some things to look at this time. And anyway, Well, the next thing up is the North Node will be in Leo, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, well, when you're talking about the North Node in transit, the way this could manifest is where you might have, it might be something where you have to confront and address. And given that this is the first house, this could be maybe having to confront an overly domineering, overbearing, arrogant, even egotistical or bombastic person that was prominent in your early childhood. Perhaps it could be maybe somebody that has played a role maybe in your outlook on life to some degree. And really about the way this could work out too, this could be about taking pride and being directed toward taking pride and having dignity as far as your first impression and your appearance at this time, especially if this is actually hitting your literal first house in your natal chart. And doing maybe starting some Leo-like new beginnings, just something with entertainment, acting, amusement, something of a creative endeavor, doing something with children, perhaps. And even sports too, I would think something that's very attention-seeking. Anyway, well, and also, but you have to remember too, the first house, especially if this is actually hitting the literal first house on one's natal chart, it could be about addressing some kind of a Leo-like issue with the physical body, such as something with the heart or the upper back at this time, because the first house is associated with the physical body. So anyway, next thing up is the Black Moon will be in Capricorn still. So the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Leo. So at this time for Leo, this could be about perhaps having to confront, not confront, it could be the revelation perhaps, or unveiling of an aunt or uncle, someone prominent in your daily routine, or somebody strong, maybe somebody you know in your place of employment, somebody that's demonstrating a lot of tyrannical, over authoritative, cold, callous qualities at this particular time. It could also be in some cases where, you know, something you don't want out of the bag, so to speak, but does come out anyway for whatever reason. Something that could be maybe a Capricorn like health issue might come out, or could simply be a depressing health issue that's causing a lot of despondency and making you feel rather dejected and melancholy. Could be something with the knees, the bones, the skin, the joints at this time. And also, too, the revelation or unveiling maybe of a real formidable Capricorn adversary that might be at your place of employment or daily routine. It could be an aunt or an uncle, could be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Capricorn-like characteristics. Also, too, the way this can manifest is that, when you're talking about the Black Moon Lilith, it could reflect as to what could put us in a strong state of fear or trepidation. And given this is Capricorn, and you're talking about the sixth house, it could be about maybe having some kind of limitation or restriction in one's daily routine, and not being able to consistently do what you want to do in your daily routine, in your health life, as well in your place of employment. Maybe losing maybe some authority, perhaps in that, relinquishing authority at that place of employment. Anyway, last but not least, Chiron will be in Aries still, so the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Leo. At this time, Leo might be dealing with some emotional wounds that might be connected with maybe contentious, acrimonious situations with in-laws, with grandchildren. It could be with foreigners, maybe somebody that you may know at a college, university, or religious congregation. Also, too, about dealing perhaps with lack of assertiveness and aggressiveness, maybe pursuing matters with higher education, or really a lack of confrontational ability with in-laws or grandchildren, or maybe being overly combative in those matters. And the thing about it is, it's about the way this can manifest too for Leo. Remember that we're talking about Chiron and Aries. This could be about fear, really about feelings of perhaps unworthiness. And at this time, maybe you don't feel like you're worthy of maybe getting a higher education, or where you don't maybe fit in, like maybe you deserve maybe the grandchildren, or a situation with in-laws, or you don't fit into some kind of religious congregation. It's about feelings of unworthiness with that, and you might have some really, and that's the way this could perhaps manifest. It could also be about maybe in-laws, people at religious congregation, grandchildren, foreigners, maybe even, I mean, just anything ninth house related. It could even be, I mean, it could be professors maybe you're dealing with at a college, university, what have you. This could be about really actual or figurative headaches that you might be dealing with at this time, and also perhaps lack of initiative and aggressiveness, maybe in matters with publishing as well. But remember that Chiron is the wounded healer, so in ways that you might be going through struggles and suffering in connection with Chiron and Aries and the ninth house, you might be able to help out people going through comparable situations, and do so with a lot of Aries like courage, fortitude, aggressiveness, assertiveness, and enterprise. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Leo July 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Virgo July 2018 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.